What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do two looks with the new Morphe 24a Artist Pass palette. You know, I'm gonna be entirely honest with you guys. A few of you initially asked me to do a video on this, do some looks, do a review, and at first glance, just because my experience with Morphe in the recent past has been kind of well, I was gonna skip over this one, but two things came up. First of all, this was like one of the only new releases I was able to get my hands on right now because, as we discussed in the last video, it's a little bit difficult right now with a lot of stores closed and stuff. The second reason is because upon further inspection, I thought that this pressed glitter with the star-shaped glitter in it was very interesting, and not necessarily did I think, oh, that's interesting. I definitely think that's gonna be awesome. It was more interesting, like, I don't think I see how that's going to work, and I wanted to test it to find out. The actual colors in here are a bit more interesting than I expected them to be at first glance, so I'm actually excited to make some looks with it. However, I also think that if you're not like buying new palettes and stuff right now, you could totally redo these looks with a lot of stuff we already have. It's definitely not like so unique that you can't dupe it, so it's like a good spot right in the middle to make a video. I already filmed this video one time. I filmed, well, I mean the first half of this video. I filmed the first look yesterday, and when I imported my footage, it had literally no sound. None whatsoever. Now, I was not planning on sitting down to film today, and I went outside to try to get some exercise and got rained on, and now my hair is a mess and I have to wear a hat. So the picture that you saw in the thumbnail is the first version that I did yesterday when my hair was all nice and cute, but today we're just gonna make it work. We're gonna get this video done and we're gonna do what we have to do. I think I pretty much nailed making the look exactly the same the second time around, which I am surprised I was able to do, quite frankly. If you would like to do me a huge favor, please go ahead and leave a like on this video because it's super helpful. And also, if you're new around here, please go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you around for more videos. We might not be doing as many 3 looks with new releases as usual. I asked in my last video what you guys want to see me do if I'm not doing looks with new releases. And a lot of you agreed that you want to see me reuse older palettes, which I would totally love to do and definitely will. But the other two things that keep coming up are palette bingo and turning myself into a Bob Ross painting. And I think that I am going to do both of those soon as well. So subscribe and hang around for those. Watch me make a fool of myself trying to follow a Bob Ross tutorial on my face. I know that's old news on YouTube, but quite frankly, it's still entertaining and I just don't care. I've never been one to like do the trends when they're trendy, you know? I think that's all that's going on. If there's anything else that I forgot, I'll just try to mention it throughout the video. I'll timestamp the looks down below and link all the products. That I kind of feel like that goes without saying at this point. So in spite of the fact that I'm like accidentally dressed like a female Colin Farrell, let's get into look number 1 with the Morphe 24a Artist Pass palette. So I'm going to start with the color Stage Persona, which for some reason I have a hard time saying. I want to say like Shade Perona, like I can't, it just doesn't want to come out properly. We're going to start with this shade. It's a nice like mauve transition-ish shade. That's what we're going to start with. I'm going to pick that up on a BH number 6. And I'm just going to use that right through the crease. I'm going to bring it up pretty high and sort of start flicking it out toward the end. Not like too flicky because this is just going to be the transition color anyway. But you know, get that little shape started. On a BH number 7, which is a little bit smaller, I'm going to go into the shade Major Inspo. This is a purple shade, but it has a lot of pink in the shade, which in my opinion makes it a little bit easier to use. I feel like compared to a lot of other purples, especially purples from Morphe, this one worked pretty well when I used it yesterday. So I'm just going to put that through the crease and then, you know, flick out toward the end here. If you can hear like a sound, it's the washer downstairs. Hopefully that'll stop soon. If it doesn't, then I don't know what to tell you, but I'm definitely not filming this a 3rd time. You know what I mean? I'm also gonna take a little bit of that shade and pop it on the outer corner. I should pull up a picture of the look I did yesterday to make sure I'm doing it the same. Dude, I was so mad when I realized there was no audio. I was so mad. and put a little bit in the inner corner too. I'm gonna grab my NABLA cut crease brush and some light concealer, and I'm going to cut a space in the center. I didn't do much to the outer portions yet, but we're gonna get there in a second. We're gonna travel down the path of the outer corners together. I'm gonna make this cut like really like obnoxiously high, because sometimes I just want my eyeballs to look like cartoon eyes, you know what I mean? And that's the look I feel like we get when we take the center cut up like super, super high. The only thing is that if you fuck it up and you make them uneven, oh my God, is it very obvious when you do that. So we're gonna try our best. I cannot tell you guys how many times I just wind up forgetting that this is here and then just like going about my day and having just hunks of concealer and foundation and shit on the back of my hands, and I just don't even notice until it's way too late. I've been paying more attention to like recreating what I did yesterday rather than like what actually makes sense in the best way to do this, and I probably should have put some darker blue in the outer corners before I did the cut crease, but you know what? I didn't, and here we are. So I'm gonna grab a pencil brush and I'm gonna go into Rider Sky, and I'm gonna put a little tippy snip snip snap of that right around the edge of where we put that concealer down. I'm just gonna basically cover the whole outer corner of the purple with it too. And I'm gonna do that on the inner part too. I'm gonna mix a little bit of the purple and the blue together and just run that through the crease portion. Again, we can blend more momentarily, but for now, that'll just make it easier so we don't have so much work to do. This blue is giving me quite a lot of fallout, I must say. I clean off that same pencil brush, and I'm gonna go into, what the hell is the name of this shade? I'm gonna go into the shade Secret Set. What does that even mean? Is that like a band doing a secret set at a show or something? I mean, I guess so, because this seems kind of festival themed. I don't know. Why am I even, who cares? Who cares, Nicole? Put it on your eye. I'm gonna grab that shade and I'm going to put that over the concealer, but overlap that onto the blue as well. Because like, look how pretty that looks, overlapped. All right, so since this is the second time I'm doing this look, I know the better way to handle these little freaking star glitters, because the whole reason that I bought this palette is because it had a pressed glitter with hunky chunky stars in it. And quite frankly, partially I wanted those to be good. I wanted to have star glitter on my face. However, part of me also was like, there's no way that's going to be good. And I'll be perfectly frank with you, the first time I filmed this, I discovered that it is indeed not that good. It's actually not good at all. But I kind of know how to make it work a little bit better now, so I'll show you the way that I made it work for me, so that way you can maybe make it work for you if you purchased this already. Because the look came out cute. It's just that like, it's better in theory than it is in practice, that's all. But first, I'm gonna go into the shade Private Oasis on a flat brush. This is a MAC 242, and I'm going to pack that over the center of the lid where it's still open with just concealer. This shade, by the way, stunning. 10 out of 10, big fan. First of all, it absolutely needs a glitter base. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of the NYX glitter primer. I'm just gonna tap the excess off on the back of my hand and then pop that right in the center area of the lid. What I noticed is that these stars, first of all, they definitely need a base. They don't like to stick on their own. They'll just fall right the fuck off your eyeball. The other thing is, because they are pressed in with this other smaller glitter, when you pick it up on like your finger or like a silicone brush thing, it just kind of leaves that star crusted in this slightly less shiny glitter that just makes it look crusty. It just looks it's just crust city. It's crunchy, crusty. So what I wound up doing instead is just taking a tweezer and pulling out the stars and then placing them where I want them, just like I would with any other glitter. So what I'm trying to say is, if you want to do these looks, you're better off just using star-shaped glitter that comes loose, because the pressed version is just really not doing anything for me. However, once you get them on there, it is cute. And then once they're on, I just like to press them in with my finger. That way they kind of adhere a little bit more to that tacky glitter base. I only put about 3 or 4 on each lid. I didn't really go crazy with it. Even picking them up this way and putting them on, they're still crusty because they still have that other glitter, but at least when you press over them, most of that comes off. It's not bad. It looks cute once you get it on, but you know, like there's just no point in having it pressed in the pan, in my opinion. And that's just my humble opinion. If you feel differently about it, if you like it, then that's fine. But to me, crust city, crust-a-lusty. And not good crust like pizza crust, like bad crust, like, I don't know, bad medical crust. For the lower lash line, what I want this to have is like an overall like ooh, celestial kind of vibe. So I want the lower lash line to be predominantly very blue. So I'm gonna go right into Rider Sky on a pencil brush, and I'm gonna drag that under the entire lower lash line, connecting it up into what we did at the top. Obviously, I already concealed and powdered, so the powder is catching any fallout from that blue shade, because this blue shade does have a bit of fallout. Not like as bad as the Jaclyn Hill palette, but like still like enough to be trifled with, you know? I'm gonna grab my BH number 6 and just blend along the bottom edge. I'm not adding any more color to that brush, just using whatever's on it. I'm gonna go back into a little bit more of the purple shade Secret Set on a small brush and just tickle that along the outer corner so that way it blends in with that blue, and it kind of helps us connect to the color that we have on the outer portion of the lid up there, because that's a mix of the blue and the purple. And for the waterline, I'm going like really blue, like obnoxiously blue, but I think it's going to really help bring the whole thing together. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 pencil in the color Chaos. It's like the most obnoxiously bright blue in the history of blues. It's gonna run that through the whole waterline. And to like really drive that celestial feeling home, I'm gonna go into the shade Private Oasis again, this time on a LUXE 111 mini, and I'm going to pack that into the inner corner and just sort of tickle that out, let it spread over the blue on the bottom half and a little bit over the purple on the top. It's kind of like one of those topper shades. I'm not really it's not listed on here as a topper from what I can see, but it seems like it's meant to be used that way. So it's nice when you put it over other shades, it kind of like takes on different qualities. But if you want to, you can like really build it up on its own. Like look how intense that is right there. I like it. I like it. Celestial as fuck. Celestial seasonings. What is celestial seasonings? Is that a tea? Why would they call a tea a seasoning? Why is this all coming to me now as I do this makeup? Why? All right, House of Lashes Iconic Luxe. We are back. We managed to, I think I recreated this perfectly from the first time, to be honest. So what I want to do for this look is keep it very simple on the lip, but I still want that like airy, fairy, celestial feel. So what I'm going to do is grab this very shimmery mauve-y gloss. This is Ice Orchid from MAC. This was part of one of their holiday collections, so I don't think you could get it anymore, but it is very similar to Sweet Mouth from Fenty. I just kind of like this one just a little bit better, but you could definitely get a similar effect. And I'm not going to line the lips today, mostly just because I don't know, like sometimes I just like the way a very undefined lip looks with like a really super like defined and like in your face sort of an eye, and so that's what I'm going for today. It looks more like youthful sometimes. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, but and this is the first look. All right, so for look number 2, first and foremost, I want to say, I meant to mention this in the first part of the video. I definitely mentioned it the first time I filmed it, but I forgot to again when I refilmed everything with my audio issues. I have no idea how eye safe these glitters are. I am willing to bet my mother's left ass cheek that this star glitter is not eye safe. So if you do use it, perhaps proceed with caution. I'm just saying. So I'm going to take my BH number 6 again, and I'm going to start with the shade Indio Woe, which is kind of like a very bright coral. It's not kind of like a very bright coral. It is a very bright coral. I'm gonna take that and put it right through the crease. I do have some staining from the last look, if you can see it on my lids. Not like really bad, but the purple definitely left some pink behind, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, I like that shade, and it blended nicely. I'm happy with that. There's nothing better than, I mean, and I'm not saying this as of right now, but like in the summer or the spring, having a tan and doing a coral makeup look. Oh my god, it looks so fucking sexy. Kind of leaving the outer corner like a nebulous shape on this one. I don't know where I'm going with it yet, so we'll figure it out later. On my NABLA pointed crease brush, I'm gonna go into the color Seek Shade. I'm gonna use that brown to just kind of create a little bit more of a crease, give myself a little definition. Ew. No, I'm not. That looks literally like dirt and it's so patchy. Ew. All right, can I make it work? Ugh. Okay, I could try. That first initial application was not cute though. I don't know about this one, guys. I'm gonna blend back over that with that coral shade. It's kind of like tone it down. It literally looked like I just put soot on my eye. All right, I blended the majority of that color away, but it was still enough to give me a little bit of definition. So for now, we're satisfied. I'm gonna grab my MAC 242 and I'm gonna go over almost the whole lid with the shade Front Row for more of like the desert vibes with this palette. So I feel like that'd be a good shade to do that with. I'm gonna start by packing it toward my lash line. I'm gonna slowly bring it up toward the crease. I'm gonna try to cover as much of this like caca poo-poo duty ass brown as I can, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't love the way that it looks. It's like okay now that it's blended in with like all the other colors around it, but like it's just not great though. So I'm gonna pick up that same NABLA brush and I'm gonna go into the shade Desert Vibes. It's a little bit of a warmer shade. I think it'll be a nice little bridge between that gold and the Seek shade that wasn't doing it for me. Kind of soften it up and warm it up. Oh, that's better already. Okay. I'm gonna take a little bit more of Desert Vibes and just pop that on the outer corner too. I concealed and powdered again, and for the lower lashes, I'm gonna go right into Indio Woe. I like this shade a lot, and I'm gonna smoke out the lower lash line, and I'm bringing it low, like to my jaw. And I'm sweeping that under the entirety of the lower lid. I'm gonna blend the edge of that out with a clean brush, or clean-ish brush. So I'm really not loving the color Seek Shade, but it is like the only deep matte in this palette for the most part, except for like really bright shit like the purple. So I am going to use a little bit more of it. I'm taking it on a small little angle brush. I'm just going to use it a little bit to define the lower lash line, just to give me a little bit more of a shape down here. I'm going to just grab a small brush and blend it right into the coral shade, just for like a little smidgen of definition on that part of the eye. Now, the last time I did a warm orangey eye and I didn't use Urban Decay Torch in the waterline, you guys were shocked and appalled, and you know what? You were right to be. So I'm gonna grab Urban Decay Torch. I'm gonna put that through my waterline. It's definitely more of like a pumpkin orange than a coral, but it should still kind of add to the overall like warm, deserty, fiery vibe we've got going on, and I think it'll be good. I also like the effect that this color has on my particular eye color, because my eyes are like a dark hazel, so when I put an orange or like a reddish based color next to it, it kind of makes more of the greens pop in it, and I enjoy that personally. And last but certainly not least, I'm gonna go into this glitter shade Wild Out on a LUXE 111 mini, and I'm going to use that on the inner corner. I'm just going to press that right onto the inner corner of the eye and then diffuse it out. Ooh, I like that shade. It's kind of like more red than I was expecting it to be, and I'm into it. I put on House of Lashes Iconic Luxe again. I finished up my skin, and for the lip, I want to continue the corally vibe, but not like too over the top coral. So I'm gonna grab the Melt lip pencil in the color Cinder. This is corally, but not like bright in your face coral. And I'm gonna fill the center with the NABLA Creamy Dreamy liquid lipstick in the color Eve. And this is the second look. Okay, so after doing these two looks with this palette, I think that I have mixed feelings, but mostly I kind of like it. So the overall color layout I think is really fun. I really like these icy topper shades and even this gold shade that are the larger ones in the center. Those are really fun. I have to say though, the pressed star glitter is stupid. It's dumb. It doesn't work well. Honestly, even using the glitter glue, those stars fell off of that look so quickly. Before I knew it, they were just like in my underpants. Like they were just gone. They were off of my face. They were no more. In my opinion, you are much better off if you are looking for star glitter to just get star glitter and like glue them individually to your face. It's just such a better option. Only other actual complaints I have about this palette, the color Seek shade was just applied very patchy and didn't want to blend. I felt like I had to cover it with other shades to make it look good. It wasn't the worst thing I ever used in my life, but it was just one of those things where I put it on and I instantly knew that it wasn't gonna be great. But that being said, some of these other shades I thought were great. Major Inspo, the purple, worked really well. The blue shade Rider Sky, it's not the best bright blue I've ever used, but it's really not bad. Bright blues are notorious for being very difficult to work with, and this required a little bit of attention, but nothing crazy. I love the shade India Whoa. I think it looks very pretty in this eye look, and I really love the glitter shade Wild Out. I think that worked great. All the other shades that they used for the most part worked really well. I don't have any complaints about them. Overall, I think this is a pretty decent Morphe palette, one of the better ones that they've released in recent times. However, if you are looking at it specifically because you are interested in that pressed star glitter, don't waste your time. I think that's pretty much all I have to say for today. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video because it's very helpful and I really appreciate it. If you are new around here, go ahead and subscribe because you know what? Bitch, I want you around for more videos. If you want to keep up with me between videos, if you want to know what's going on here in the channel, you just want to know what I'm up to, follow me on Instagram. Instagram stories are the thing I update the most often, and lately I have been having so much fun chatting with you guys over there. I know I say that all the time, but I really mean it. I love talking to you guys. You're all hilarious. Like, so many of you sent me memes about the Tiger King's eyebrow ring. When I brought it up last night, I was just laughing and laughing. Oh, it's a great time. I would love to have you be a part of it. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know, did you pick up this palette? Did you see a million miles away that that star glitter just wasn't gonna work? Because I totally did. Or if you just want to tell me how you're doing today, leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear it. I think that's all for today. Thanks for taking the time to hang out with me and talk about makeup. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you're staying safe and well and in relatively good spirits out there. And I will see you in the next one.